taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day, while the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor. He was telling you to build your own house.
She's looking for love in all the wrong places, surrounded by all the wrong faces, down pathways of no traces, involved with those who called cases for capers. One night someone raped her, took the last of her innocence. All she remembers is the incense, burning, her insides turning, her mind wondering, why was this happening to her? After all he said he loved her. Confusing, ain't it? Even more confusing that after the fact and after the act, she laid in his arms. Imagine that. Willingly, willing to let it be what it was, and it was her interpretation of love, or the only love she had ever known. Now she's shaking her ass because she's full grown. She done mastered the art of the bone. She's been manipulated by the perpetrator, a.k.a. the traitor, who didn't believe in letting flowers grow. She was only 13, so she really didn't know. But now she sees life in slow-mo. She gives a little more for a little less, hands beneath her dress. She's living the best way she can. She's got herself an old man. Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the No PC Show. This is the new series that we're starting to do. It's going to be called The Hard Conversation, and it's going to be more of a call-in type of format. That was a poem I wrote probably about 9-10 years ago. Let's see, 2000. Yeah, about 9-10 years ago. Probably when a lot of this stuff was going on. The disclaimer I'm going to put up here is everybody's entitled to their opinions. Everybody's entitled to have their own view of things. We can have different opinions, but we can't have different facts. So the fact is, and my cousin Wally, maybe he'll call in or tune in tonight. Anyone that wants to call in, I'll give you the call-in number. If you're on the Facebook side, you might want to switch over to YouTube side. I've given a link over there because I don't know what Windows 10 is doing with Google now, but it kind of bounces around. So you can come over to the No PC Show, all one word, on YouTube and click subscribe, and then you will be a part of this discussion. Everybody saw the documentary. Shit, everybody saw the video. We all saw R. Kelly. We all saw what should have been a man getting locked up for having sex with a child. Here's the facts. The facts are everyone saw it. he was acquitted because the only reason he was acquitted because people took the money. The young lady, they drugged the trial out. By the time they got to trial, this young lady was 19 going on 20. She got up and said it wasn't her. Her uncle got up and said it wasn't him. His uncle still plays in the band with R. Kelly, played on a lot of his other hits. So they took the money. That's the bottom line. They took the money. The people responsible for protecting her took the money. And we can feel any way we want to about that. I can't hold anybody else responsible for what happened to this child except the people around R. Kelly, and the family. Everybody else is free to do what they want to do, feel how they want to feel. If they want to buy R. Kelly music, they can still buy R. Kelly music. The moral compass of blackness is always incredible to me because a lot of us grew up in those environments where that went on. And I'm not the type of person that's going to stand around and stand judgment on one and not the other. We got to stand in judgment of all of it. Whether that's niggas messing around with young girls in the neighborhood, whether that's niggas selling drugs in the neighborhood, niggas stealing in the neighborhood, niggas killing in the neighborhood. I don't like individual protests where you're going to be choicy with your protests. That's our biggest problem. You don't get to say, well, I'm going to protest R. Kelly, but I ain't going to protest my dude that's over here selling drugs. I'm not going to protest my dude over here shooting and killing. Personally, I don't understand why R. Kelly hadn't caught a two-piece by now. Some of the behavior that I saw in this documentary was offensive to me because no one stepped up and said, I'm about to bust R. Kelly in the head. It's amazing. Nobody said it. Some of the behavior of the young ladies was inappropriate behavior. And I think that they might have been looking for some validation or whatever their home lights were, that you're 14 years old and you can skip out and go to an R. Kelly trial. Or you see a 14 or 13-year-old hanging around with grown people and you so enamored with R. Kelly and the music that you don't say anything. I'm never going to be enamored enough with you to let you do some bullshit in my face or let me knowingly know it. That's insanity. That's irresponsible. I may share some personal stories here on this show. I may not. But the issue is, what is your moral compass when it comes down to these situations? I went to an R. Kelly concert one time, and this was probably after the allegations and stuff had went down, and I was really uncomfortable at the concert because I looked around and I saw all these baby girls, a lot of them there with their mothers. And then I look at the stage and I see the craziness that's going on the stage, the simulated sex. It was just wild. You might as well have been watching the porno. And all the young ladies are there. They're cheering, they're hollering, and the mothers are cheering and hollering. I'm like, this is insanity. I actually know a guy whose niece, and this story, I'm just relaying the story. He said R. Kelly got his niece pregnant. Okay, so I'm thinking the next thing, then we went and whooped R. Kelly and gave him a pumpkin head. No, we went to R. Kelly and we talked about it, and he broke off that cash, so we straight. That's nigga shit. Wait a minute. This grown ass man got your niece pregnant, and y'all just went and talked and got some money. I knew a young lady, and she was dealing with R. Kelly. I did some computer work over on Michigan Avenue, Gold Coast. She set up in a nice apartment, and we're talking about the situation. And my thing to her was, why would you put yourself in this type of situation? She's like, well, I know I can't deal with him. I got to be available for when he calls me. You know, he set me up with a few properties. And that's what she was happy with. She wasn't underage. She might have looked underage, but she wasn't underage. So this man had women throughout the city, young girls riding up to Kenwood. That was stuff we used to do when we was kids. Hey, let's go up to Kenwood. But we was in high school. So everybody saw this behavior. Just like we saw it prevalent really in the project setting and in the hood setting. There's a million Negroes with the same behavior. If she got hair on it, she good to go. What type of bullshit is that? Just buy him a few shoes. Buy him this, buy him this. R. Kelly is working from the Pimp Manual 101. He intentionally goes out and looks for these young girls who may not have the best family life, may not have a father around. You know, they're kind of looking for validation, and he gives them something because they're young. They're young. They're impressionable. They see this, and then they like, wow, this is great. R. Kelly. At what point do the parents? I know a lot of people say, well, when they turn 18, they can go wild. Yeah, when they turn 18, they can go wild and do what they want to do. That's still not gonna stop me from busting you in your head. The most appalling story that I saw in the whole documentary was the couple that took their daughter to the R. Kelly concert. She was 17, and he pulled her up on the stage, picked her out of the crowd, and they said, well, we thought it was cool because we were right there. And then when the concert was over, she left with him through the back, and they didn't know where they were. And then when they caught up with him, oh, he explained it, and, we was cool with that. No, I'm punching you in your face. You don't take my 17-year-old anywhere. You want your studio set on fire? Boom, your studio's going to be set on fire. At what point do the protectors of these people get some balls? Our number is 872-267-2552, 872-267-2552. If you want to talk about what you saw on the documentary, Surviving R. Kelly, give us a call. I mean, it was nothing that we hadn't seen, but everybody's on the bandwagon now. Chance the Rapper, this person. I made a comment to my cousin. If we're going to judge him, we need to judge the whole industry. We need to judge the behavior of everybody, so you might as well turn your radio off. You might as well turn your TV off. Lifetime put it out there, because they wanted some ratings. That's the women's channel. All they do is show the abuse of women. I'm not saying abuse women. I'm saying that it's great that they spoke up and put this out there. And now he's probably going to get his just due, or we think he's going to get his just due, because there was an amazing report that came out today, and it said, and I'll show it to you, that R. Kelly's sales and streams have gone up. And Jada Pinkett is like, I'm confused. Everybody wants to step to the name of love and all that. So are people grabbing the R. Kelly music like if he had died and let's get the R. Kelly music? Every website, R. Kelly this, R. Kelly this, R. Kelly this. Let's stop pretending it's new. And some of the things, the people, I don't know what the statute of limitation is on a lot of this stuff, but it seemed like a whole lot of people were assisting R. Kelly and letting stuff slide. I hold them just as guilty. The one that was in the dark all the time talking was fully aware of what was going on. I'm not going to let, especially in any of these grown-ass women, that Kitty Jones, who was 33, the other chick who was 30-something, even his wife, I'm not even giving her a pass. A pass for what? I personally feel she knew what was going on. She participated in it. You can turn the blind eye to a lot of stuff, but you can't turn the blind eye to that. He's running the house like a pimp brothel. Everybody's got to call him daddy. You got to have permission to do everything. This is his way of controlling, because he knows the inadequacy of himself inside his own body, inside his own spirit. He says he was molested. His brother said he was molested too. His brother said he went to R. Kelly and he told him about it. And he was like, no, that didn't happen to you. But he was fully aware that the same thing that was happening to him was happening to his younger brother. A lot of survivors grew up to do the same thing as the people that did it to him. It becomes a chain. And this guy never got any help for it. And that's a shame in itself, that if someone would have caught this early on, maybe he would have went down a different road, but they didn't, or they did and they didn't do anything. So, like I said, my thing is the documentary only highlighted what we already knew, and it put more faces to his victims. That's basically what it did. You may not have known all the victims. If you saw the tape, there were about 4 or 5 different women in the tape. You saw the documentary, the young lady was talking about having sex with the 14-year-old. She knew her body, performing oral sex. Another young lady, Jocelyn, she's the trainer. She's like the bottom bitch here, and he brings her in to train all the other girls on how he likes to behave. Then the one lady that went to the hotel to get her daughter and rescued her daughter, and then you find out at the end that her daughter went back to R. Kelly after 3 days, and then she did leave again and come back to her mother. He had her dressing up like a boy or something, which says a whole lot of other different things of why you got this girl dressing up like a boy and you're treating her like you're a boy toy. That's something else that people can dig into. Again, the phone lines are open, 872-267-2552. What did you feel about this documentary? Was it anything new to you? Or was it just like, okay, this is just for entertainment? Are you still supporting R. Kelly? Are you buying R. Kelly's music? I don't really buy nobody's music. To tell you the truth, sometimes I just download what I want. A song here, a song there, just to be doing some DJing. I can tell you a story of one time going to a club, and they said, we do not play R. Kelly music in this club. I'm like, what? Y'all don't play R. Kelly music? I said, okay, then this means R. Kelly really screwed something up. And it just so happened that R. Kelly was having a party in this same town I was in, and people were talking about going. I was like, I ain't going to no R. Kelly party for what? Are you kidding? Man, please. Let's see, I got a call coming in here.
Call from
I don't think about nobody here.
to accept.
Hello.
So what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment about the document.
Okay. What's your comment?
It's lame to be put all around to listen to action.
I'm getting a little feedback from you. Hold on. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear?
I can hear you, but for some reason I'm not hearing you through the speaker system, but keep talking.
Oh, well, I was just saying,
Okay.
it's blame all the way around. And I don't excuse R. Kelly for what he did. Because you got to look at, you know, you're right. And people falsifying documents, still got to consider, like, okay, now I know these girls were young, but even one girl even said she lied to him about her age. And then you got the other girl who, you know, through all her tears, when you just mentioned, said, yeah, you know, she knew a 14-year-old body, but you still engaged in sexual activities with this young girl on more than one occasion. And also, yeah, I think his wife had to know what was going on. So if you're going to hold him accountable, and you should, especially if he did all this crazy stuff, then you need to start digging into everybody's past that was involved in this stuff. Everybody, from the parents that knew you. Why would you let your daughter or your niece go hang out with R. Kelly, especially after this trial? All this other stuff, you know. So, like you said, your friend found out he got his niece pregnant, but if your end game was okay, well, we got money for it, so it's all good. So it's the whole situation is just wicked.
Yeah, it was just craziness. It's like every episode, it just seemed to get crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
And maybe we're thinking from our mindsets, but to not step forward and do something to this dude at all these points, even in the Aaliyah case, which was probably the most pronounced case, because even the young lady said she walked into the room and she saw him having sex with Aaliyah at the age of 15. But what did they do in that case? They wanted Aaliyah to have a career, so they took $100,000, and then he introduced them to Missy and Timberland to take over her career. What happened to me kicking your ass? How do we skip over this? How do these men not address this dude on that issue? He got bodyguards and everything. Well, you and your bodyguards gonna have to get it. So you gonna see me at every event being outrageous. I'll stake out your place, and when y'all all go in there, I'll set your place on fire. If you stupid enough to stay in there, you deserve to burn. And that would be including my child, because I'm going to burn this shit down. Everywhere you go in this country, you're going to have a problem. I know my sister said, not violence, bro. No, it's not violence. It's I want to talk to you. It's making you uncomfortable. You're not going to be that comfortable in life. We don't do comfortable. The problem we have in our neighborhoods and everything now, you comfortable selling that crack. You comfortable selling, killing and shooting. You comfortable being here and you comfortable being there. And that's what I'm talking about when I say black people. We can't be comfortable with all the bull crap that we allow to go on in our neighborhoods. So we've been comfortable with this type of behavior from men for years. And we can't sit around and act like we haven't seen it on all different types of levels. but it's acceptable. People are comfortable with it, and I don't get that comfortability of it all. But the document, like I say, with the young ladies that hit their ages and things like that, I'll share a crazy story that happened to me when I was 25, and I met a young lady. She worked at a store on Wabash, had a 4-year-old little boy, had an apartment, everything. It was Thanksgiving time, and she invites me over for dinner. I go over, she's got dinner and everything. We watch a movie, sit down, talking, having a good conversation. We wind up hooking up. This young lady, after we've hooked up, says, I probably should have told you, I'm 17. I'm like, what? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? She says, my mother's boyfriend is your age. I'm like, how old is your mother? My mother's 33. Wait a minute. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. I wasn't pursuing a relationship with a young lady. I thought she was older because she had her own place and all this other stuff. But most men would be like, well, shit, that's what it is, and kept hooking up with the chick. No, we don't keep that behavior. Sure, now you got to check IDs nowadays, because you don't know how old these young ladies are, or what they into, or they trying to find a sugar daddy. It's a lot of young ladies out here trying to find a sugar daddy or somebody to take care of them, or validate them in some type of way. But that's not the case with R. Kelly. The case with R. Kelly is he is pursuing. Well, at that time he was pursuing young ladies, but you notice after the trial he wanted to make sure they were 18, or he was pretending they were 18, and still hooking up with a few 17-year-olds. This last case of the girl in 2015, they found the text that said he hooked up with the 17-year-old prior to her turning 18, but by the time she turned 18, they haven't seen her since. You haven't seen your daughter since. You haven't traveled down with some members of your family and just sat out in front of R. Kelly's crib, break out a grill. You can find them if you want to find them. I don't get it. I miss a lot of that. And you know, a lot of people. My sister says a lot of people don't come forth, and that's a problem. That's a problem. You know, we had a situation when I was younger, and I wound up telling on somebody and going to court and all that, and I never spoke to that person again. He wasn't a member of our family, but he did something to somebody in our family. And my cousin said, well, why don't you bust his head? Because I'm 12 years old. I can't be the 21-year-old dude. But I did what I could do at that time to make sure that got exposed. So if a 12-year-old can be responsible enough to see something and address it, then everybody above that level has got to be able to see something and address it. The money can't be a factor. That's just like saying, okay, you raped my wife, I'm going to let it slide because you gave me some money. We got the president. This guy had a rape case against a child, him and another businessman. And it didn't get dropped. It got dropped for the second time the day of election. Women all on the screen talking about this man's behavior. So we got this all in the top office. So yeah, let's hold R. Kelly responsible, but let's also hold everybody else responsible.
And that's the other issue that I have with this too, is because, and again, I'm not excusing his behavior, but if you're gonna go after R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, then you should have looked into Hugh Hefner. You should have looked into Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, all of these guys that indulge in underage sexual activities. And And if you're gonna go through, and I understand they did, but it's some more out here, especially in the entertainment field. Like you said,
Take a trip
I've
to
heard
Vegas.
stories. I've heard stories about these people trying to get into the music business and things that they had to go through to be a part, and it's not based on your talent now. You know, if you want this, you'll do this and all this stuff.
Right.
So both men and women.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
men
like,
and women.
so the whole thing is sick. The whole thing is sick.
It's
Period.
and that's got to be the thing, and I think it's one of those things because I talked about it before. Is it the money? You know, a lot of black people have been impoverished for so long, and we don't know the number that R. Kelly settled that case for with the girl in the video, but it was obviously something of substantial mean, because the family basically stopped talking to Sparkle altogether. So I don't know if that was part of the thing because they wanted to discredit her. She knows what the hell her sister looked like and her aunt looks like, and to have your family members turn over for money. I wouldn't stop talking to my family members. I just curse their ass out every time I see them, and I just say you ain't shit.
Yeah.
That's basically what I say. I say, you know,
because the truth is still gonna be the truth,
right?
Regardless.
You know, we can address it in all different types of ways and sugarcoat it in all different types of ways, but that would be some BS. And most people, like at the end of the documentary, the family started talking tough, and the women are more tougher than the dudes. R. Kelly, if I see you, it's on, blah, blah, blah. Then the men somewhere, well, then I'm going to be in on it too. No.
Right.
You know, I know my sister said no violence. I'm not talking about violence. This is called protection. Protection and violence is two different things. If I took my daughter somewhere and you got up on the stage and she's underage, and then, well, first of all, she's not going up there because she's underage, period. So I don't know, you know, how enamored they were and hoping to have their children become stars. The young lady, Zario or something, what her name, they haven't seen this child in 3 years. And I know the police are going to tell you where they're grown now and all that type of stuff. Okay, well, maybe they need to see you act the fool over them. Maybe they're feeling that you're not there for them for whatever reason. But if they see you constantly coming and acting the fool, maybe they'll come out and say, okay, my parents are crazy, or this is crazy, or this is crazy. And I know don't nobody want to go to jail. Oh, I don't want to go to jail because this nigga should be in jail, but I don't want to go to jail. Okay. Usually you don't get locked up for a long time for bothering people. He'll have to go to court, and he'll have to get an order of protection, and then 92% of order protections are violated. Okay. This dude got to be comfortable. He got to continue to do what he does. Continue. So all the tears that you saw throughout the documentary, you felt for all these young girls. You felt for them. But you kept saying to yourself, what the hell is going on? Where are the people in their lives? And you just felt like a lot of them, the fathers just weren't there. Because I just couldn't see that happening time and time again. And you don't have a house that good that I wouldn't throw a Molotov cocktail over the gate and burn your house down. Yeah, of course I'd do it with a ski mask on and all that, but it would happen. You would come out and all your tires would be slashed daily. I hired some goons to fight your goons. So that's why he was allowed to stay in these situations and be comfortable. I just don't get a lot of it. But that's what they did. So, like I said, we can continue to take more calls. I see Alicia West has joined. Hey, Miss Alicia, we're over here on the YouTube side. Uh, it's just it's no way to and people are saying, well, now they're mad now. They weren't mad before, but they're mad now. Okay, no, I was really pissed off when I found out he was messing with Lil Aaliyah. So this was even before the sex tape, right? And we were saying, shame on you for messing with this little 15-year-old girl and married her and got her pregnant. Let's not miss all that. But then if the parents let it go, my thing is, if the parents let it go, you have to let it go from that perspective. The only thing you have to judge after that is, am I going to buy this man's music?
Yeah.
A lot of people still go to the concerts. Like I just showed, the record sales are still there. What are you going to do? Are these people responsible if they see the parents saying, cool, I take the money? How you behave? If the parents let it slide, shit, well, I guess I can let it slide too, right? 872-267-2552. You know, how do we deal with this in a manner that's productive? It is still being said that he still has these young ladies living in the house with a code, and he's not controlling them all by himself. He's got crews of people over there controlling. Does anybody know the address to this house? Should the address to the house be posted? I know they got the mute R. Kelly, and nobody's going to the concerts and all that, and that's a good start. Stop him from making money. I think he released a song called "I Did It," and in some of the lyrics of "I Did It," he says, "Is it wrong for me to mess with older girls and young girls?" He doesn't say how young a girl. I just found that, like, wow, you saying this in the song, that's crazy. 872-267-2552 is our number. If you want to make a comment about the R. Kelly. And I know, man, I had all types of R. Kelly stuff, man. I probably got the whole R. Kelly collection. Because when you wanted to do your thing, what did you throw on? You throw on some R. Kelly, right? You're probably still throwing it on. And the video that just came out a couple of days ago, I think the video was an older video of his wife playing R. Kelly music in the ride, her and her new dude or whatever they were doing. And she was saying that I support this and I support this, but she's the main one up on the screen crying. So stop BSing us. How do you marry somebody and stay in a house and ask for permission to come up and down? I've heard of these situations before. I've just never personally seen it. I would find that absolutely amazing. But she's saying she had to ask for food and ask could she go here and ask can she do this, and you know, he was a father when he wanted to be a father, and he's choking me and he's doing this and I have to run off. And then the video comes up. Oh yeah, I support my baby daddy, and you know I could talk about him, but you can't talk about him. Blah 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 blah. Everybody wants to be in the limelight. Everybody wants their child to be a star. At what price are we doing this? I had some other notes here. There was the young lady at the end, and I felt probably the most sorry for her, because he had took her and put her in a hotel and went and did a show and came back, and she says, okay, it was consensual. And then she said, well, it really wasn't consensual. It was consensual, but intimidation made me go ahead and go through it because he had a way of being forceful, and this is R. Kelly, so I gave into it. And so her giving into it, when she decides to leave, I guess she wasn't moaning and doing the things that he likes to do. He brought in the little trainer chick, that's the one that was on TMZ, the one he has to train all the other chicks on how he likes to get down. Now she's got herpes. R. Kelly's talking about he didn't have herpes, just like Usher. Usher and R. Kelly have herpes. They got the song The Same Girl, right? Same herpes. So this young lady is suing him for this disease. But how does she even get to that situation? Like I said, I was just more amazed by the older women, especially the chick that was the DJ, Kitty Jones or whatever it was. She was a 33-year-old woman, quit her job, and actually somehow, some way, she was believing that they had a relationship. Just like the divorced woman. She talked about how she would cut people off if they said something against them. This sounds like some pimp stuff. It's absolutely was amazing, and I watched the show a few times. So I could write these notes and take it down and try to digest it. You got Chance the Rapper coming out, and you got all these other stars jumping on. Why don't we have this enthusiasm toward other things that affect black people? Okay, R. Kelly should have his ass whooped and he should go to jail. That's my feeling on it. I don't know why this hasn't happened. I'm sure he travels with bodyguards. Throw a bottle of piss across the fence. Who knows why this happens? But what's the resolve? Who's totally responsible in the end? Sparkle, we haven't heard anything. They put a whole listing of what everybody's doing that's in the documentary. It seems like a lot of these women have gone back to school. Some of them have gotten married, going on with their lives. The one, Jerronda Pace, who was 14 and cutting school to go to the trial and then becoming a victim herself. That was just an amazing story in itself. How are you 14, cutting school, going to the R. Kelly trial, and he spoke to her. He noticed her. He spoke to her. And then it seemed like all these girls, no matter what the parents said, they were breaking their necks to get over there to R. Kelly. We had to start teaching our children, don't be enamored with anyone but yourself. Yeah, we all wanted to meet Michael Jackson and moonwalk with Michael Jackson, but we wasn't letting our kids go over there and sleep in his bed. And a lot of those kids that did go over there, their parents got checks too, right? Then they came out years later and said he didn't do it. But it's the whole perception of what's going on. Everybody that's around R. Kelly, that's in the house with him, is guilty of the same thing that R. Kelly is. If you know these girls are there and you know they're kept in these different rooms and they're kept in these situations and the things that are going on with them, then you are guilty. You're guilty. And in a way, we're all guilty also. We're guilty of overlooking it. Maybe we don't have the same level as what the parents have, because they have to live with a different level of guilt. And for the parents that took that money, even Aaliyah's parents, God rest her soul, I loved Aaliyah to death. That couldn't happen. or it could happen and he can still get a beat down. Some should have happened up in that situation. 872-267-2552. We are not going to be too long tonight. We just wanted to be able to talk about this situation, and we're going to do a couple of these hard conversation shows. I think the last point I wanted to talk about was the justice system. Johnny Cochran says it best: if you got money, you can get away with a whole lot of stuff. And he said that's why OJ walked, because OJ could write the check. During this trial, they were saying, first R. Kelly said it was his brother, and then after that, it was a pimple or a mole on the back in the video, and then he didn't have a mole on the back. And then some of the jurors, when they talked to them, they just said, hey, we just didn't believe the young ladies because they don't believe black women, because black women are promiscuous, right? They love sex, they love having it. This what was portrayed in the court. And then if you have a 20-year-old woman and everybody else denying, your main witness can't come to the court and deny. That's a big problem in the case. And that's basically why he got off. So I don't know if we can hold these people accountable for everything that happened after that. But he came out with a song after that called Not Guilty. I mean, I can't be accountable if you're not going to be accountable yourself. If you're not going to be accountable for what you saw in that video with your child and your niece, then I don't have to be accountable for that. I have to be accountable for what I see and what's brought to me and what's told to me. I see this dude, you know, I don't even want to see this dude out in public, just like I don't want to see Donald Trump in public. There are certain people I just never want to see because I'm not sure how my reaction is going to be. And I'm not trying to go to prison because I slapped the crap out the president. So this format, the conversation format, we're just going to call it the hard conversation format. And we'll do this from time to time when there's a serious topic or a hot topic that's out there, and we'll do that. We're still going to do the No PC show on Thursday nights at 7:30. That's when we'll talk about our black segments and things like that. But I know everybody's watching Alabama and everything tonight, so roll tide. And thank you for joining. And hopefully everyone on the Facebook side was able to come over to the YouTube side. There's a link in the Facebook side. I'm going to put it up one more time for the people that joined late. If you click on that link, you can then come directly to the YouTube side. So when we're showing illustrations and things like that, you can see it. And you can click the subscribe button and click the notification button, so you will get a notification wherever you're at that the show is going to start. So on that point, we're going to say love, peace, soul, and we will see you all Thursday night. Peace.
Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Step
Now if your woman ain't no revolutionary, she'll persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. She'll be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to cool and buck dance so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young minds, check it out, you got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide, and you a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them full clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. A bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you wanna be saved. Are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Fuck that. Freedom or death, nigga.
If you just listen,
Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga.
you were getting a warning. Until now, you're going to jail.
I'm getting it for what?